My name is Catherine Sullivan DiCarlo. I am Vice President of Admissions and Marketing. And this is the first of a series of virtual Thursday meet and greets. The concept here is that Chapel Haven offers a lot more than just our core residential programs, but we often feel that people don't know that. And so we wanted to give both our families and prospective families a chance to learn more about the different kinds of programming that we offer at Chapel Haven, such as tonight we're focusing on recreation, and we have an amazing, robust recreation program. We also do a lot with wellness and fitness. We have a day program called Community Life that can be full-time or it can be part-time. Some families use it to fill in gaps in an individual schedule when they're not working or doing other things. We also have a supported living community. So tonight is the beginning of a bunch of these that you're all cordially invited to. And we're delighted that you joined us. So we do have a PowerPoint.
Just wanted to say hi before I go off screen. I'm going to share my screen now.
And so just quickly, if you don't know about Chapel Haven, we are a nonprofit located in the Westville section of New Haven, and we've been here for 50 years. And our mission is to empower adults to live independent and self-determined lives. And we are having our next virtual open house on February 5th, and you're cordially invited to that as well. We are recording this session for people who could not make it and to archive on our YouTube. If you have a question, we invite you to use the chat function and type it in, and we'll be keeping an eye on that. And with that, I'm going to turn it over to Ms. Emily Austin, who is our wonderful supervisor of recreation.
Hi, everyone. Thank you so much for joining tonight. I'm so excited to be able to share with you something that's extremely near and dear to my heart, the rec program at Chapel Haven. For those of you who do not know me, my name is Emily Ann Austin, formerly Emily Ann Westman. I have been at Chapel Haven for a good number of years now, as you can see on the PowerPoint. I've had the pleasure of being an actual rec staffer that goes on all the activities with the adults for a good number of years. And now I get to run the whole program, which when I was called back to do this job was a dream come true for me. I was overjoyed to be able to rejoin Chapel Haven after I had left for a little bit and, you know, just help grow the program and help the individuals at Chapel Haven just succeed and socialize and enjoy the community that we have out there to offer. And as you can see, my favorite part of working at Chapel Haven is the adults. I think that we are very fortunate to have a wonderful group of individuals that attend Chapel Haven, have graduated from Chapel Haven, and still partake in the activities that we have to offer. And they've really enriched my life over the years. And I hope that what I offer does that for them as well. So enough about me. Let's talk about the rec program, which is why we are all here tonight. So as Catherine had mentioned, just a couple of quick little housekeeping notes. We have the chat feature enabled. So please do, if you have questions as we're going along, put them in there and they will either be answered as I'm presenting and or at the end. And then if for some reason that a question is not answered in tonight's presentation, feel free to just shoot me an email and I would be happy to get back to you. As previously mentioned, just a quick little highlights about our program. It is rather robust. We offer a lot of trips to various places like museums, sporting events, cultural events, fairs, theaters. We have 7 Special Olympics sports that we offer through our rec program. We are currently the largest chapter of Best Buddies in the state of Connecticut, which is a title we've held for a good number of years and we're rather proud of. And we very fortunately, you know, it's hard to sometimes see the good through the pandemic that we're all living through, but we've been able to create a virtual recreation program, which is just flourished and has really helped engage a lot of individuals in a lot of different ways. And so we currently offer 40+ virtual activities a month. And so that's just a quick overview. Here's a picture of some of our wonderful Special Olympics athletes. Some of the, nitty gritty stuff. We have 3 different membership types that we offer within the recreation program. We have our tier 1, which are our virtual activities only. So those are individuals who might not necessarily live in Connecticut and or live close to Chapel Haven and want to engage and meet other individuals. They can partake in the virtual program. And so that's a flat fee of $60 a month, and they can choose any and as many of the virtual activities that they would like to do throughout the entire month. Tier 2, we do virtual activities and on-campus activities. So we do offer virtual and in-person, and the Tier 2 membership allows any members in that level to partake in any of the on-campus activities that we offer. Tier 3 is everything that we offer within Chapel Haven's rec program, virtual activities, on and off campus activities. That's sort of, you get the whole gamut. All of the memberships include the option to join the Best Buddies program, the option to participate in the Special Olympic sports that we offer, the option to receive home recreation packets, and all of this I'll go over a little bit later. The option to take any rec classes that we offer, access to our Bershaw Boswell Community Center fitness room. We do have designated open gym hours for that. And then the option to participate in the campus clubs that we offer. So for our virtual activities, they're offered Monday through Friday from 7 to 8 p.m. And then Saturday and Sunday, we have one from 10 to 11, one from 3 to 4, and one from 7 to 8. So there's a good handful of options for the adults to participate virtually. Some of the activities are bingo. We do a lot of virtual tours of like museums and aquariums and zoos. Karaoke, we'll do arts and crafts. We do a really fun thing called our weekend away, which the adults travel virtually to a location, and we have a rec staff that actually puts together a whole itinerary. The adults talk about the travel to get there, the weather, what they need to pack, what they're going to do when they get there. They sightsee virtually some of the different things that are in that location. It's something that sort of came out of the pandemic, a way for us to go places without actually being able to go places. And a lot of the adults have greatly enjoyed it. The Zoom link for the activity is sent to the members' email an hour before the activity begins. Any supplies for like any arts and crafts or any other activities that the adult might need are sent home in advance. And we have a really nice and easy online registration system called RecDesk. And so all of the members are allowed to register for virtual activities up until the day of the activity. And then this is just a nice picture of a group of our individuals doing an arts and crafts project that they did over the summer.
And it looks like you offer a trial.
Yes. And so for anyone that might be interested in the virtual recreation program, we do offer a 2-week free trial. All right. So I'll go on to the next slide. So for on-campus activities, so those activities are Monday through Friday. It's from 7 to 8 at night. And then on Saturday and Sunday, they're varying times. Again, some of the activities that we do on campus, but this is not by all means the end of what we do. We have Minute to Win It, yoga, game nights, movie nights, karaoke. We do a ton of workouts. 2 regular activities that we do that we're really proud of. On Mondays, we do Mindfulness Monday, and the members practice meditation, and then they learn a new topic, something to be mindful of. So they've done topics like breathing techniques, self-care, kindness, healthy habits, tons of different fun topics, just to help the individuals stay in tune with their mental health and being mindful. And then on Wednesdays, we do something called Wise Wednesdays. So we like to say that members wise up by learning all about new topics. So things that the individuals might not have ever known about before, such as like endangered species or reasons behind why we celebrate different holidays, history of the Olympics, and so many other topics. This is a picture of two of our individuals on a karaoke night. And we also offer off-campus activities. And so those activities are Saturday and Sundays, varying times. Maybe about once a month, there will be one offered on a Friday night. Those would typically be like a hockey game or maybe going out to the movies to see a movie at night. The activities that we offer off campus, again, these are not by the limit of what we offer. We offer a lot, but these are just a few examples. We do a lot of hikes. We do rock climbing. We'll go to a lot of sporting events, like I said, hockey games and basketball games and baseball games. We'll go see different shows at different theaters. We'll visit different aquariums, zoos. We'll do out-of-state trips as well. So we've done days up at Quincy Market in Boston. We'll go to Six Flags a lot in the summer. The Big E is a fan favorite amongst the rec members. And all of the members in the rec program travel with rec staff to and from the event. And it's just a great way for them to practice their independent living skills while getting to enjoy the community and all the social offerings. So here are two examples of our calendar. We offer two different calendars. One on the left side there are the virtual only activities. So just to sort of help differentiate the in-person from virtual, we show the two different calendars. So it just shows the format. You have your activity number here. So for virtual activities, there's always going to be a V in front of the number. That lets you know that it's a virtual activity. It always says the date and then the activity and a little description of the activity underneath it, the time of the activity, and then if there's any special information for that particular activity. And then for in-person, it's slightly different. It says, again, their activity number, date, the information about the activity, the time, and then it lists any sort of fees that might be associated with the activity. We'll go over the fees a little bit later in the presentation. Information about how to access RecDesk, which is that online registration system that we use, and our cancellation policy, which is also important, are in our rec handbook, which you receive when you join the rec program. If you are a current member on this Zoom and you haven't gotten the rec handbook, it's because I'm updating it. And as soon as it's finished in the next week or so, I'll definitely make sure everyone gets a copy of that. So super fun things we get to do on top of all the other things I've shared. We do 2 big travel trips every year. We go out to Crescent Butte, Colorado, which has very quickly stolen my heart. It is a very beautiful place. We go to a wonderful center out there called the Adaptive Sports Center. And we go skiing, we've done snowshoeing, we've done a couple of other activities out there. It's so much fun. The staff at Adaptive Sports Center are amazing, and they work with a lot of individuals with varying abilities, and it's a wonderful experience to go out there and ski with individuals and sit skis, or just watch all these individuals go out there and show their skills. And the views are breathtaking, and it's of course fun to travel. And then if that wasn't great enough, then we get to go to Disney World. So any members who choose and who are able to go on the trip, we travel down to Florida and we spend a week and we park hop all the different great parks in Disney, and we just really enjoy that magical place. Best Buddies. So for those who might have questions about Best Buddies, here's your slide. So Best Buddies is actually a worldwide organization. It's where adults with varying abilities pair with students from either collegiate level, the high school level, or there's something called Citizen Buddy. So if you're someone out of school and you want to still be a buddy, you can be a Citizen Buddy. And so the whole purpose behind Best Buddies is for the individuals with varying abilities to build friendships with these other students as well. So Chapel Haven's very fortunate to pair with Southern Connecticut State University, which is right down the road. And fun, quick little fact, Best Buddies is actually how I got started with Chapel Haven. When I was a wee freshman at Southern, joined the Best Buddies program and absolutely fell in love with everyone at Chapel Haven and Chapel Haven. And that's how my story started. So Best Buddies is very close to me. And I actually still stay in touch with my buddy from my freshman year in college back in 2006. And he lives in Kentucky, and we talk like at least on a weekly, if not twice a month basis. So it truly is building lifelong friendships, and it's a beautiful program. We offer our buddies to meet bi-weekly. Through the pandemic, we've switched to virtual, but before that we were at Chapel Haven, which is, you see that picture of Jess there with her buddy Ellen. They were doing a wonderful activity in person when it was safe enough for us to be able to. So they meet bi-weekly with their buddy from Southern, and we do varying activities, arts and crafts, trivia nights, dances, all that fun stuff. And then once a month, we do get all of the members together to do a group outing. So we'll go buddy bowling, or we'll do a movie night at the theater. Our Best Buddies program meets Tuesday nights from 7 to 9 p.m. And then we follow the Southern's academic calendar. So we follow their breaks and all of that.
Emily, do we want to ask Matt Pepe to say a word about that? Because I know.
Yeah, that would be great. Matt, do you have any comments about Best Buddies you would like to share?
Yes. I always meet new people at Best Buddies, although too bad we have to do it on Zoom and can't do it in person yet.
Mm-hmm. How long have you been doing Best Buddies, Matt?
Maybe for a long time, but I forget how many though.
Yeah, so you've had a few buddies, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I think Andrew Auerbach wanted to say a word too, Emily, if you don't mind.
Sure, of course, Andy, we'd love to hear.
Thanks, Matt.
Thanks, Matt.
You just have to unmute Andrew. Hold on, there you go.
Wait, it's I can't get to mute.
So Andrew, tell us about.
Okay, yeah.
Tell us about Best Buddies. How has that been for you?
I think it's been great for me. I think I started around 2006. I've been doing it for about, say it's 16 years. Wow. I've been through many buddies. We right now have to do it on Zoom because of the pandemic, but before then we have been doing meeting in person. We do once a month. We do on Zoom currently. We do Best Buddies on Zoom, and then we have two groups that come in. One group another week, and one group another week. We do activities.
Cool.
Thank you, Andy, so much. Yeah. Best Buddies actually has been around for quite a number of years, but Southern Connecticut State University and Chapel Haven actually paired, I want to say it's 31 years ago now, was our first year as a defined chapter with the Best Buddies of Connecticut program. So we have been outstanding for quite some years now, and we're very fortunate as being the largest. We have typically every year we have about 60 Chapel Haven individuals that look to be paired with Southern students, and we're able to match, I want to say, about 85%. We always work hard to get the Southern participation up, but so we are the largest. So that is why we do bi-weekly meetings, as Andy was describing. We do a Group A and Group B night. And that's just to make the groups a little bit smaller, so it's easier for the individual buddy pairs to be able to communicate with one another. And although it has been on Zoom, and that isn't always ideal, we do prefer being in person. I think we can be very thankful that at least we were able to come up with a way to still have Best Buddies and participate virtually. So it's still a bit of a change we're learning, but we're getting there, and it's been pretty successful. Special Olympics. So we currently offer 7 sports through Special Olympics Connecticut, and we have a delegation of our athletes that participate. The sports are on the left-hand side there. We do bowling in the fall. We do basketball in the winter. In the spring, early summer, we run swimming, soccer, tennis, and track and field. That's our biggest season. So those are usually like April through June. So any individual can have the option to join any of those sports during that time frame. And then in the summertime, June through August, we do softball. For Special Olympics practices, we do once a week, and they're about an hour long each. And then we participate in whatever state competition that Special Olympics Connecticut is offering. Every adult that participates is required by Special Olympics Connecticut to have a physical completed every 3 years. That is something that we keep track of, and we make sure that we ask in enough notice so that way we can have that updated. And then we're very excited to share that over our years of participating in Special Olympics, we've had multiple athletes qualify for either national games or world games. Lynn, who's going to share a little bit later with us, and maybe this is the time for her to share, her wonderful son actually participated in national games and did a wonderful job. And then we have some other individuals that actually made it all the way over to world games.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, I'm Lynn Arazzini, proud mother of Carl Arazzini, who's been with Chapel Haven since 2012. I can't believe it now.
Wow.
10 years. He started in the wonderful REACH program. He was there for 3 years and moved to Sale. And then he moved to the community, and now he's living around the corner. He's been there for 5 years in 2 different apartments. And in 2018, we got the call from the sponsor of the National Special Olympics. So it was the Worldwide Wrestling people called us and said, your son has been elected into being one of 4 athletes that will represent Connecticut in the Seattle Summer Games. So Dave and I had just retired, and Carl provided us with a trip to a reason to go to Seattle right after we retired in June from teaching. So it was absolutely a phenomenal experience to represent Chapel Haven and the state of Connecticut. And Carl adores swimming. And the other nice thing is the Chapel Haven team practices at the wonderful Jewish Community Center around the corner, which maybe Emily will be talking about later too. But Carl is now a member and he continues his swimming. He goes there twice a week and swims. So, you know, he's done bowling. He loves the bowling. That's in the fall. And basketball is usually in the winter. And then the swimming is in the springtime. So there's a lot of opportunities, and it's a great program. And I think Chapel Haven is one of the largest Special Olympics participant, as well as the Best Buddies. So they got 2 distinctions in that, I think. So, yeah, it's been great.
Thank you, Lynn.
Thank you, Lynn, so much for sharing. Yeah, Special Olympics is so much fun, and Carl has done such a wonderful job. And yes, we do practice for swimming at the JCC, and I will talk a little bit more about our relationship with the JCC as we go on. So we'll move on to rec classes. So we offer currently 3 different types of rec classes. Unfortunately, due to COVID, they're on hold at the moment. We are hoping to bring them back in whatever capacity we can, as long as it's safe. And we're working on ways to do that. The classes are adaptive tennis, open choices at the JCC, and adaptive basketball. Adaptive tennis, we meet once a week, and we usually either go to Oak Lane Tennis Club, which is right in Woodbridge. It's about like less than, I don't think it's like 6 minutes from Chapel Haven. And we have an adaptive tennis coach go over tennis and teach the individuals tennis. We have some members who actually really are already great tennis athletes that play. And then we have some members who've never played tennis before who want to learn, and some individuals who might need adaptive equipment to help them to be able to play the sport. And depending on when we offer the class times do vary. Previously, they've been on Friday afternoons in the past. Adaptive basketball is something that I am so upset. It was just about to start right before COVID hit in the very beginning. And so we haven't really been able to see the success of this class yet, but I do know that it's going to be very successful. So we were in partnership through the JCC with Marrakesh and Benhaven and a few other schools and organizations in the area that serve individuals that Chapel Haven also serves. And the idea is to sort of have like a adaptive basketball sort of pickup league for these individuals who really love to play basketball and want to be able to play safely with other individuals on their level. And so we're super excited and working with the JCC to, again, when that's safe, be able to get that back up and running. And a fan favorite is the open choices at the JCC. Staff take the individuals over. Again, JCC, for those who don't know, it's in Woodbridge as well. It's literally like, again, 5-6 minutes from Chapel Haven. It's not far at all. And so the members go there and they're there for an hour. And while they're there, they can either go rock climbing at the rock wall at the JCC. They can go swimming and have open swim, or we do like various sports in the gym. So sometimes they'll do basketball, sometimes we'll do different like relay races or, you know, different sort of little sports competitions in the open gym there at the JCC. So it's a fun way for the individuals to stay active and enjoy the JCC. So campus clubs. So through Special Olympics Connecticut, there's a club called the Unified Sports Club. For all those who might not know what Unified Sports is, Special Olympics is an international program as well. And through that, they offer unified sports. And so that's where a neurotypical individual would participate in the sport with the Special Olympic athlete. So we do participate in unified sports. So when we bowl, we do have some unified teams. We've done unified basketball in the past. So we've had some of our coaches play, you know, the sport with our athletes as well. So Unified Sports Club's a little spin off of Unified Sports. And what Unified Sports Club is, you get together neurotypical individuals and our Chapel Haven athlete individuals, and you stay as physically active as you can. So we track via Fitbits. It all gets sent to Special Olympics through a website. They record everyone's, you know, they go off of everyone's activity, and then based off that, there's a reward system. So as a club, all of the adults that joined our club, we sent that information to Special Olympics. Again, we're a rather large club. And so within, I want to say it was the first like 4 months that Unified Sports Club had kicked off, our club, when you combined everybody's step counts, we had gotten to like I think it was like over 100,000 steps in like 2 months or something like that. So we were staying very physically active. And because there's a large number of us, we're able to do a lot. And so from time to time, we'll offer Unified Sports Club activities off of the rec calendar. Those are for the individuals that particularly are a part of that club. And those activities are always physically active based. So like we'll do just a unified sports hike. So we'll all make sure we're tracking. We'll wear our unified sports gear if we have any. We'll talk about ways that we're staying physically active, ways that we could maybe enhance what we're doing. And it's just another way to encourage physical activity and staying healthy. And so there's a picture of some of our individuals who are part of the Unified Sports Club. And then the other club that we offer through the rec program is the Ski and Snowboard Club. This was founded by one of our Chapel Haven individuals, and he is super proud of this club. He's a very, very avid skier. And so the premise of the club is for other individuals who are very interested in winter sports. We gather together, we talk about the winter sports. when it's okay and safe, we'll do day trips to go skiing or snow tubing or whatever we might be able to do is, within a day trip from Chapel Haven. And so the club, right now, club meetings are on hold due to COVID, but we are hoping to get those back up again as soon as it's a little bit safer. And then we're able to do more with the clubs. And then for any individual that might not, or might be finding that they need something to do in their downtime, or, they've run out of something, we offer home recreation packets. So they're packets that our staff put together that have different word searches, mindfulness activities, coloring pages, all sorts of fun, random things for the individuals to do in their free time. So they don't need, any sort of specific directions for any of the activities in there. And those can be requested by a member at any point in time. You just shoot me an email and I will get a packet over to the rec member.
Nice.
And the not as fun stuff, billing. We do bill for two different things within the rec program. So there is that monthly membership fee. The easiest way sort of just to describe it to everyone is it's sort of like a gym membership. You pay that monthly fee for sort of everything. And then if you take a class, it might be extra, there's a few extras here and there. That monthly membership fee just sort of covers, the basic costs and stuff, covers the, the gym and the campus clubs and all the other sorts of odds and ends things that we offer, and that anyone in the rec program, does not matter what tier you're on, can participate in any of those aspects of the rec program. And the membership fee is based on which tier you're on. And that's because each tier is based on what you have access to. So we're not going to have someone that has access to everything paying the same as someone that has access to only the virtual activities. And then the additional fees that apply that was questioned before are the fees listed there. So we have activity fees, ticket fees, and then there's a cost. So for in-person activities only, whether those are on or off campus, there's an activity fee. So for on-campus activities right now, it's $5. So you'll pay the monthly membership fee for the adult to participate in the program. And then per activity that they participate in, there is that activity fee. And then certain activities, these are off-campus only, are ticket fees. So those are for any tickets that might need to be purchased in advance. So like, sporting events, theater play, going to the theater, those are things that we need to secure the tickets in advance. And so we need to charge to cover that ticket fee. And then on the calendar, there's a cost column as well. That's the column all the way to the right. That column just lets the individual know any money that they might need for the activity. So for example, we love to go bowling. All of the individuals at Chapel Haven love to go bowling. So we often do that every month. And so you need money to pay for your bowling game when you get there. So the cost is that money that the member is going to need to cover while they're on the activity. We're not doing a lot of movie trips to the movie theaters right now because of COVID, but when we used to say, cover the cost, cost is X amount of dollars to cover your ticket. And on the calendar, it has the activity title, and then underneath is the description. And within that description, it will say ticket fee covers admission or cost covers admission. And that will just indicate for you which one is which. The activity fee and ticket fee are always billed. The individual never needs to bring those fees. They are always billed. The cost is the money that the individual needs to bring for the activity. And then additional varying fees apply for rec classes, travel trips, and for Special Olympics. All bills are sent home in the mail and they can be paid online. That's a new feature that we offer.
So Emily, I know that prior to this Omicron rise, things were opening back up and you were doing rec trips, right?
Yes. So we actually, January was the first month we were actually going to be like, headed back out there and doing a lot more activities off campus. But then the new variant came in and sort of put a damper on that. Our main goal is to keep everybody safe. Like that's I hope society, that's our focus. But definitely within the rec program, because we've been able to build the virtual rec program and it's been as successful as it is. I know Andy's on a lot of the activities often. Lynn's son, Carl, is on the activities often, and individuals can do both in person and virtual. So we're very fortunate to have the virtual program. So we do encourage, as we're keeping in mind safety, to be participating that way. When we do travel out there, we reduce the numbers that we're traveling with. So it's 2 staff for, 10 Chapel Haven individuals, instead of before pandemic, we'd have 25 Chapel Haven individuals going with 3 staff. So we're being mindful in ways like that. We have a lot of protocols in place at Chapel Haven. We're double masked or N95 right now. The staff are very encouraging and do a good job of reminding the individuals to wash hands, socially distance. So we're trying to offer as much as we can, but being mindful and staying as safe as we can. And hopefully we get vaccinated and we learn how to live in this new crazy world, and we can get back to all the crazy fun stuff we did.
Excellent. Excellent presentation, Emily.
Thank you.
Do people have other questions that we can address?
While you might be thinking, I do, for any new families on here or families I might not have yet met in person, it's very nice to see you over Zoom, and thank you for joining. And I hope that you have learned some stuff about the rec program, and you stick with us as we continue to get through this pandemic, so that way when we can go back out there in full force, we're all ready to. I think we might have a hand up.
I also have a question in the chat if we want to do that quick. Any Special Olympics activities happening now?
Right now, we would be, our basketball season is the season that we would be in, but Special Olympics Connecticut is only offering the skills component of that. And we just didn't have enough athletes to be able to participate in the skills component. Our basketball athletes are, we're looking for team play only. So we opted out of basketball for right now. Special Olympics is very hopeful and is planning for an in-person spring season, which is we're super excited about. Would be tennis, soccer, swimming, and track and field. That's our real big season. So we're staying real hopeful that season will kick off. Sign-ups for that will begin in March, and I'll send all that information out.
Brian wants to know, will this program interfere with college? It's an interesting question.
Interesting question. I think I'm not sure where you're attending school or what your college schedule is like, but the one thing that I do know is that a lot of my staff are either in grad school or undergrad themselves and work in the rec program. I think that you might not get to be able to participate in every activity if you have a class on the night that a rec activity is offered, but I think nights and weekends and some of the times that we offer, you might be able to fit it into a college schedule.
Okay.
I do see there's a hand raised, and you should have a button that is asking you to unmute if you want to unmute and ask your question aloud. While that's happening, I had 2 questions about the materials. So 1, the PowerPoint, and 2, the rec schedule. So we're going to send out, I can send this recording to everyone who attended and also get the PowerPoint slides from Emily to attach that. And I can also attach the January rec schedule so that everyone can see that. But if they wanted that another time, Emily, how can they best get that?
Yeah, so for all rec members, I email the calendar out just about a month in advance. So February's is actually coming out this week. And so it's emailed out. It's also on our rec desk website, which once you're a member, you have access to. There is a sign up period for on-campus in-person activity, or excuse me, on and off-campus in-person activities. Virtual activities registrations open until the day of the activity. And so it's emailed out and it's on the website there, so you can access the monthly calendar that way. It comes out every month because it varies every month, so you just gotta check your email.
Myra has a question. I want to say hi to Myra, and she was wondering if you have any special programming coming up for the summer.
I'm not sure what type of special programming you might mean, Myra. Could you give a little more on that?
I know you do. I mean, in a normal time, you do a lot of Six Flags, right? In the summer?
Yeah. So if we're talking like that, yeah. So if we're talking like things that we do in the summertime that are a little bit different, we definitely get out there a lot more. So we go to Six Flags typically twice a month to allow, because all of the individuals want to go, and there's over 150 members in the rec program. So I have to be able to offer a lot of options for the individuals. So we'll do a lot of hikes. We'll do Six Flags all the time. We'll do the water parks. We do a lot Quasi Park we'll go to. We'll do a lot more outdoor activities to sort of, stay engaged in the summertime. One super fun thing, actually, now that I really think about it, and thank you for asking this question because I didn't mention it. And actually, we can thank Andy for this. Andy's family is very generous, and they give our program a very nice grant every year. And so we're able to rent a beach house. And so the rec department rents a beach house in Milford. And so we'll have the house for a whole month. So we'll do a lot of activities there at the house as well. So we'll do yoga at the beach, walks on the beach, beach days, game nights at the beach house. And so that's another way that we, get out and about. That we've been able to do safely through the pandemic. There was only one summer we missed it. Otherwise, last summer we were able to, and this summer we have plans to as well.
Well, I want to say that, Emily, I remember when you were a student in the Best Buddies chapter, and I remember thinking, wow, this woman is a dynamo and she loves this work and she should come back and work at Chapel Haven. I remember that. So I think you have done an amazing job, and especially with, the curveballs we keep getting thrown with the pandemic and the Omicron and the mask wearing and all of that. And yet still your weekend away and all your virtual programming and getting outside and walking and fitness and everything, which reminds me, we should just revisit that last slide, but you've done an amazing job. There we go. Thank you, Marissa. Our next one is February 10th. It's at noon. So we're trying to vary the times on these, figuring some people might like to log in at lunchtime and learn a little bit. So Ryan McEachern will give a presentation on wellness. And again, we hope that our own families, and I know there's a bunch of our own families on this call, will tune in, because you don't always know everything we're doing, and we want you to know about all these resources. And then if you're not part of Chapel Haven yet, we wanted you to know that you can do a la carte things with us. In fact, it's a great way to get to know Chapel Haven. So wellness will be February 10th. And then on February 24th will be supported living, which is really the next step after residential. As Lynn mentioned, Carl went through residential and lives out in the community now. So what does that look like, and what is that all about? The Community Life Program on March 3rd is a day program that we have, an excellent program, and it can be full-time Monday through Friday, 9 to 3, or you can use it part-time. And then in June, we'll talk about our Career Ability Program, which is our employment arm. So we hope that you might join us for some of these, and we truly appreciate your time. And I don't know if Miss Emily got unfrozen, but I want to just thank her again and thank all of you.
So sorry, guys, I froze. Thank you so much for joining tonight. I really, really appreciate you taking the time to hear all about the rec program. Feel free to reach out via email, guys. I would love to hear from you if you have any further questions.